A senior lecturer in international relations at the University of Edinburgh. Very good to have you on the programme, sir. Spain has recognised the state of Palestine. Italy has not. But are you seeing sort of a turn of the tide here with more and more countries now actually putting real pressure on Israel, like these two countries sending warships to escort this flotilla?
There is certainly a change of position, at least in Italy. I mean, Spain recognized Palestine and now sent the Navy. Italy was more uncertain about the recognition, but on Monday we have seen one of the most participated strikes, general strikes in Italy, with students, doctors, universities, people from different social background participating en masse to demonstrations against the genocide in Gaza. So the government is being pressed by the civil society, by the political parties to do something, including the recognition. The question of the flotilla is that there are citizens, Italian citizens, in some of the 50 boats which are now in international waters, and there is one of the boats which has an Italian flag. So, for instance, that amounts to a situation in which Italy has a duty to protect and escort the boat, which is a Pacific boat, a peaceful one, which is bringing humanitarian aid until Gaza. Now, the big question will be what the Spanish government and the Italian government will do if those boats enter the occupied waters, so waters in front of Gaza on which Israel doesn't have any legitimacy, any kind of international legal claim. As we know, according to the advisory opinion of the ICJ, Israel should have dismantled all its colonies and left the Palestinian territories on the 18th of September this month. They haven't done so, so there will be a test probably for the Italian authorities, for the Spanish authorities, and for Europe overall, when those boats will try to enter Palestinian waters in front of Gaza.
So let's look at those two issues. First of all, international waters. You know, there's no surprise that the Israelis are going to try to attack these boats. They've done it before on multiple occasions. They've stopped the boats and they've pretty much detained the crew out in international waters. Do you think that these warships, are they ready? I mean, they're armed. These are warships. Are they going to shoot down Israeli drones? Are they going to stop Israeli troops from boarding these ships?
It's very different to forecast what's going to happen. I think that if they are really protecting the boats and they're protecting their citizens, if their citizens and the boats are going to be attacked by Israel, they will have to react. So in principle, yes, they should react. Now, the issue at stake is not just the question of the boats. Here, Israel is bombarding peaceful boats in the Tunisian ports, in Mediterranean ports, in the Mediterranean Sea, as part of its attempt to create a new regional order which goes beyond the Arab world, but also to the Mediterranean, in which it wants free hands and free bombarding hands everywhere. So I think that what is at stake here is really a threat for Europe as a whole. And I think that Europe should react. And I think that also non-European countries, well, southern Mediterranean countries, but also non-European countries should join the efforts to protect the flotilla until it arrives and it reaches Gaza.
But of course, one thing is what they should do, another thing is what they will do. But now you have Spanish warships, you've got Italian warships heading towards this flotilla, trying to protect it. You mentioned that once it enters the waters outside of Gaza, what will happen? I mean, do you think that we're going to see Spanish and Italian warships escorting this flotilla all the way to the Gaza shores?
I hope that is the case, because I don't think that the genocide can end without a serious engagement, also physical engagement of and presence of international forces in the terrain. I think that the siege should be broken by states, and they have a mandate to do so, and they have an obligation to do so, both in terms of what happens in the sea in front of Gaza, but also all the boundaries and all the borders of Gaza. Gaza should become open. It has become an enclave in which an entire population is being annihilated, and states have an obligation to stop it. If it's by sea, if it's by land, I think that it's important also to see at the United Nations the proposals like the one of the Colombian president to really send a military contingent to break the siege. And I think that we're getting there, because there are no signs of Israel's will to stop the genocide. On the contrary, what we are seeing is an escalation, with Gaza City being wiped out.
All right, it'll be interesting to see what Pedro Sanchez and Giorgia Meloni actually decide to do if it comes to that, if they approach those Gaza waters. Thank you so much, Nicola Perugini, live for us in Edinburgh.